Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kova, Tweak Music Tips, and we want to give a big special shout out to Jake Hill from Numark and Cleveland Terry for doing an extensive overview of this brand new 4-channel DJ controller, the Numark NS4FX. And not only do we do an extensive overview, we also had live Q&A that we added to the end of the clips. So we're really excited to share this with you, and enough of the chit chat, let's jump into the video.
The idea behind the NS4FX. So what we wanted to come out with and create was, a 4-channel controller. Number one, because there's a little bit of somewhat of a gap in the market for a 4-channel controller with this kind of solid build quality, but also the big thing is the professional inputs and outputs. You can see CT's got one of the XLRs plugged in. That's one of the biggest things, is we wanted this to have, killer sound quality. So we want to do that with the XLR balanced output. And then there's the RCA booth output next to that. You can see that. Thank you, hand model. And then we wanted to make sure that this would be versatile for, well, first I could talk about live streaming. I don't know if you guys saw the Digital DJ Tips census really drove home the fact that we all knew that live streaming was not going anywhere, even quote unquote post-COVID. So we wanted to make sure that this would work for live streamers. And I didn't actually know this because I've always used like modular setups in the past, but most DJ controllers don't sum the mic audio with the music audio when streaming through like Serato, using the Serato virtual audio device. So you always had to like hook up a mic in separate, use a different sound card. This sums the audio with the mic and music over USB. So that's like not an issue whatsoever. And we do have a video, like a how to get started live streaming video, coming out on the Numark Mix Academy to talk through that. So we wanted it to be versatile for that, but we also wanted it to be versatile for, somebody that's at a club or a mobile event or even like a bar or lounge. So there's 2 mic inputs. Cleveland Terry just pointed out the front one, and then there's one on the back. And so you have independent control, and the mic 1 input on the back can be switched over to auxiliary with those RCAs. And that's, up in the upper left-hand corner, there's those controls. We wanted to make sure it was versatile for almost all events. And what I really like to see too are those crossfader assignment switches on the front. So you can, when you're working with 4 channels, you may want to arrange them a different way, or put some on one side of the crossfader, some on the other side, or just turn off the crossfader altogether. So that's what those assignment switches will allow you to do. So you could sum up all channels on one side if you wanted to, 1 and 4 on one side, 2 and 3 on another. So that gives you some versatility. And then just on top of that, we just wanted to bring like the sturdy, high quality components that you've seen in like the other Numark releases as of late. But jog wheels have a nice feel, a nice weight to them. I actually really like the surface texture on those. And then we wanted to make sure, like, I love the long pitch faders. That's something, that isn't seen very often, and they're nice and smooth, and with the click in the middle. And
that click is extreme. That's the one thing I noticed. I'm like, why is this click locks in, and it takes like an actual force to get it off of there.
You get it.
Yeah, we may have been too enthusiastic on the click, or maybe it's just your unit, but I didn't notice. Yeah, I'm a click guy. I like the click. I have let's see, my original turntables are here. They're 1210s. There's a click, but then I have these M3Gs back here with no click. Yeah, I prefer the click.
I agree.
Personally.
I agree.
Yeah. But then we just wanted to, as far as the mixer section, just include everything on all channels, so you have complete control. So I mean, you have the 3-band EQ, and something nice about that, it has full kill. So you could full kill audio with the EQ and the nice filter knob. I do like those filter knobs. Good size, good feel, smooth on each channel. Yeah,
wow.
Full kill. Yeah, and then other than that, the one thing you might ask is, okay, it's 4 channels, but 2 decks. Well, the layer button, it's really nice. It's up in the upper left-hand corner of each deck. And so the LED display on the deck, if Cleveland Terry clicks that layer, you'll see that it goes to it'll go to the other deck, and it'll tell you which deck you're on. So then your deck number corresponds with the number under the up fader, so you know which channel you're on at any time. So yeah, it's great. And then I mean, I don't need to get in all the performance pad modes, but all the ones you'd expect are there. I do really like I think the loop feature, the independent loop section, is something you see on a lot of, performance mixers and things like that, where it's loop on or off, and then you can kind of truncate or, lengthen the loop. And then all the pad modes are there that you'd expect. We have, the Q mode, we have save loop access, auto loops, fader cuts, sample, and then you have the additional modes that are unlocked with Serato DJ Pro, and that includes Scratch Bank, which is really cool. But I believe Scratch Bank is also available on Serato DJ Lite as well, so that's a really cool feature to have. So yeah, I mean, it's a really a full featured all-in-one controller, and it's portable enough. It's a good size where it's not too big and it's not too small, so you can take it with you pretty easily. But it's also not like you're playing on a little toy. You know, it has some substance to it for sure.
That's a great question. We got a couple questions in the chat. So DJ Garosh asks, so, is the top metal or textured plastic?
Yeah, it's
Looks
like a textured. Yeah, it's like a textured plastic, and it has like a sheen to it. And you can, you know, a lot of our imagery we took of the controller. Some internally they're like, oh no, it's wrong. It's a wrong render. It's like, no, that's a photo. It's just the angle. So like it really kind of changes a little bit of color with the angle. Sometimes it may look like black. Sometimes it may look silver. Sometimes it looks gray. So it's kind of a little bit of a chameleon look, but in a nice, classy way, I guess you could say.
But maybe it won't look as dirty though. Also, so that's a good thing.
Yeah,
that is a good thing. Yeah,
that's smudgy.
Yeah, smudgy. That's the one thing. Actually, it's not smudgy, right?
No, not at all.
Not smudgy. Yeah,
that is awesome. Like, see, that's the main. That's usually when you see those like really shiny controllers. That's my main gripe because it looks oily by the end of the night. Shout out to DJ Diamond Lee. He says this unit is perfect in between the other competitors who have the BPM info on the Platters. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, well, this is something we brought with the Mixtrack Platinum effects, and you've seen it in previous Numark releases too. But it's basically a quick glance, all-in-one view of your current status. So you've got your BPM carried over. You've got your deck status if you're on deck 1, deck 3, you know, deck 4, whatever. But then you also have the player head position with that LED ring around the outside, the red. So you know when you are coming up on a cue point, or you know where you're at in the track. If you know, I don't want to say you could probably juggle on these, but if you wanted to, that's how you would do it, by using that marker. And then it also has the white player head section. Since Cleveland Terry's at the beginning of the track, you see there's only like 2 white dots, but as it gets to the end, that is your representation of when the track's almost over. So you have your elapsed time with the digits, but you also have, you know, time remaining, a visual indicator with that white band. And then I believe there's also key information there, and then your pitch percentage is also reflected there.
That's amazing. So Patricia Official says, dang, the XLRs are really cool. Normally controllers that size are only RCA and the audio quality is not as good. So glad to see the XLR.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. That's my pet peeve when there's no XLRs.
Well, I think if I could just be honest, why you don't see that, it's a lot more to it than just slapping a different, like soldering in a connection of XLRs with a controller. It's like the audio circuitry is completely different. So that's where a lot of the effort went into this, is to improve the, you know, the circuitry so that the XLRs sound, you know, great. You know, 24-bit audio is, you know, it's high quality. When we did the demo video for this, like when we recorded it up in Rhode Island, and we had speakers going all night connected to it, and it sounded, you know, incredible. So yeah, that's the thing. To make it versatile enough, you can practice on it at home, you can live stream with it, or if you do want to take it out and play on it, I mean, you can connect to anything.
Anybody have any questions? Make sure you add the hashtag ask. This way we catch it. Shout out to J Style Sounds. He says, does it have hardware-based effects?
No, yeah, they're software-based, whether you're using Virtual DJ or Serato or Algorithm. That's all based on the software effects.
One of the things that I do like, I know that there's no onboard effects, which is normal at this price point. But the thing that I do like is all of these actual buttons, this high pass filter, the echo, the flanger, they are mapped to your effects. So if you press echo, it will switch your effect in the system to echo. So it's not like even with the Rain 1, like you actually had to go in and assign what you wanted it to do. These are the most popular effects and they are on there. So I do appreciate that. Oh,
so no MIDI mapping at all then, right? You're saying? Just straight out the box, it works.
Yeah. If you're on something, like I'm on high pass filter right now, it's on my computer. If I hit echo, it switches it to echo right from in the system. So that's cool.
Yeah, and that's one nice thing about, especially if you're a Serato DJ, it's mapped. You know, it's very user friendly with Serato because that's, you know, basically what it was designed to do. So everything makes sense. Everything's in the right spot. Everything's connected where it should be. And yeah, and speaking of effects too, what I like about these controller effects is that you have a dry wet knob, and you can change the beat division right in the effects section as well. So you could even, if you have your paddle flipped up, you can, start it on completely dry, and then you can dial in your effect without it being full on, so you have options. You don't have to just like fully engage an effect on it.
That's so cool. Can we talk about the price for a moment?
Yeah, that one's that's not as straightforward as previous Numark releases, because this is in the US, it's an exclusive to Guitar Center. They have it at $549 when it went live a few weeks ago. Internationally, it's available as well. In euros, it's $499.99, okay. And in pounds, it's $414.99.
What platters did you use from what other machine?
Yeah, well, the mix streams are a little different because they don't have the displays, the Mix Stream Pro. Right, but the Mix-Track, it'd be like the Mix-Track Platinum FX. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that was honestly like one of the focuses of those controllers was the high quality platter with the display. And so if you ever have felt one of those platters, it's like night and day versus maybe a cheaper plasticky controller, because these have a nice weight to them. And are nice resistance. They feel solid when you lay your hands on them. It's not like there's no wobble. You know, they are solid, easy to use, nice size jog wheel. Really,
it's actually the first thing I noticed. The jog wheels, you guys have done a really good job on them. They really do feel good. Yeah, and yeah, there's absolutely, no wobble, no flex. It's just a good jog wheel.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I like them too, and I think I've heard some people say they're too heavy for scratching. Well, it just depends on how well you can scratch.
Feel that heavy. I mean, if you've used turntables, they don't feel that heavy.
It's not that bad. I mean, I did the demo video, and I did the cuts on that video, and I did like probably 30 takes, and no complaints here. I really like them.
Tape Deck Terrorist asks, maybe I missed this, but what type of faders are on the unit, and are they easily replaceable?
So I'm not saying they're not replaceable, but it's not meant to be user replaceable. So I think the one thing people need to remember, especially if you've been a DJ for a while, your old crossfaders you were used to bleed and like it's staticky after a while, and you have to either blow it out with deoxid or take it apart and clean it. On most controllers that are like software controllers like this, you're dealing with a MIDI crossfader. So it's controlling, it's not necessarily as susceptible to any sort of bleed or anything like that. So the wear and tear is not as much of a problem at all. So, but with that, the controls to adjust your curve and everything are available inside of Serato or whatever software you're using. So that's how you would dial it in versus an old school hardware audio, crossfader that you had to dial in with the knob as far as your curve and your cut in. So yeah, that's not user replaceable. Maybe you could mess around with it. I wouldn't recommend it, but the best thing to do is just be if it ever got stiff on you or anything like that, you could either blow it out with some compressed air or put some deoxid in it. The pads are the same kind of pads we use on a lot of our controllers. These have, they're all calibrated and tested and make sure that they have a nice feel to them. They're not clicky. No, on some of the Denon stuff, we have clicky pads by design, but yeah, these are just, good quality performance pads.
Can you tell me what the Pro and all of these mean?
That's just if you're on Serato DJ Pro, that mode is unlocked.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So with the exception of, and I do need to test it, I know when this was originally made, Serato Scratch Bank or Scratch Banks was only available in Pro, but then they added it to Lite. So I think you should be able to access.
It might be available on okay, gotcha.
Yeah, with just limited banks probably.
Thanks so much for watching. If you have any comments or anything stuck out to you in this video, make sure you add it in the comment section. Also, we'd love for you to share it with your friends. Just in case you guys didn't know, my name is Kova. I run a weekly show on Twitch called Tweak Music Tips. We interview DJs, remixers, producers from all over the world. In addition, we have manufacturers like Pioneer, Rain, Denon, Shure, Yamaha, Rode, and many, many more. The second a product is released, they do a live product demo on our show where you get to ask them questions on the spot. So make sure you check us out. That's on Wednesdays and Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. GMT. We appreciate you hanging with us.